what's new with you? It's been a while.
Crazy shit.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh. So the shopping center we were in got sold.
Oh, I heard that. I heard that was sold. Yeah.
So that got sold. And
That can either be a good thing or a bad thing.
so we're out.
Oh, you're out. Okay.
3 weeks now.
Really?
Yeah.
Where
so
you
we
at?
went to the farm.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, my wife and I were talking about this the other day. Maybe it was last night. And so we've been in that building for just over 3 years.
And how big was that building?
12,000 square feet.
Yeah, it was big. That's
Huge,
what I thought. It was massive.
Right? And since being in that building, we've been averaging about 600 to 700 dogs a year, which is a lot.
Yeah.
Prior to that,
especially being out in Warrington,
correct.
You're not, you're outside
of the general population.
Yeah. You're out further, so that's huge.
Because Warrington's only 7,000, 8,000 population.
Yeah,
versus like St. Louis is 2 million.
Yeah.
So and in reality, like most of our clients come from Wentzville, St. Charles, Lake St. Louis, like
for sure. But you're still
think,
out there.
Yeah, I think we burned through Warrington in the first 6 months we were in that building.
Yeah.
So, so we were talking about this the other day because like I was super stressed. When the property owners came to us and go, hey, the property wasn't listed, but we're selling. We got an offer that we can't refuse. And I was like, okay, well, what does that mean? Like, so I stressed about this for like a month. And finally it was like, I talked to my wife about it. I was like, we've been talking for a while now. Like something's missing. Like the business has evolved or maybe de-evolved into a position where, we don't necessarily know what we're doing. And we've gotten away from the heart and soul of what Modern Canine Solutions was. Not that the training had, slacked or the quality had slacked. Like that was still, top tier and everything. But we felt like there was a big chunk of the company missing. Well,
your mission or your soul, what you were...
Correct.
What part you were fulfilling wasn't being fulfilled now.
Correct.
Right. Yeah, and I get what you're saying. I'm trying to say it so it clarifies people listening.
Yeah.
Like I get exactly where you're at, like where you're going with that for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, so I haven't been on leashes really for 2 years. I do all the sales. Well, now that I have a sales guy, I'm not even doing sales anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm not even doing the initial rapport building with anybody. I'm just doing all the behind the scenes crap and then mentoring the trainers. So, this grew out of our basement. Like we had one crate in our basement, 10 years ago, and that's how this whole monstrosity, evolved. So when this whole thing with the property came out, I was like, maybe this is our golden ticket to, get back to our roots and, really bring it back to home and, bring that life force back into the company that I feel like, and I feel like that happens whenever you corporatize something or you get something big box.
Yeah.
You lose the small town, that feeling of the personal touch.
Yeah. I struggle with that with the painting company. I'd run into people, hey, you painted my house.
Sorry, don't know you.
Never met them in my life.
Yeah.
My sales rep met them. My office manager handled them. The guys painted them. Casey followed up for payment. Like, they had never even come across. Like, I couldn't even tell you their name because we were running so many crews.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt the last 2 years. It's just that so many dogs, so many people. And I'll get recognized, like, oh, you're Tommy. And I'm like, yeah. Who are you?
Yeah.
What's your dog's name? Because I might remember the dog's name, So, we bought the farm 2 years ago, and it's 46 acres. It's got a big 30 by 60 outbuilding. And I've always wanted to do something dog related out there just because why not?
It sounds perfect.
Yeah. And so, and the other thing that we had in the plans for this year specifically, where we were gonna build a satellite location further towards the city, so like Wentzville, St. Peter's, somewhere in this general area, because this is where most of our clientele comes from. We weren't going to do a big boarding facility because we didn't see a need for that, because we can always bring dogs to where we're at. So, so that's kind of the last 3 weeks has been hooking and jabbing to get this 30 by 60 building dog ready, spray foam, HVAC, kennels, all this stuff. So it's been a whirlwind.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a lot of work.
And then getting the staff figured out, going from a commercial space to the farm and ranch. I mean, they're a bunch of city slickers that
Yeah.
now they're,
Well, your farm's out there a ways, ain't it?
yeah, Montgomery City.
Yeah.
So it's, another 30 minutes
Uh-huh.
west of where we were in Warrenton.
Wow.
Which for us isn't big. I mean, honestly, we haven't slowed down dog wise.
Yeah.
We're now picking
No, if they're
up,
already coming to Warrington, they're going to come there. Yeah.
well, I mean, we're picking dogs up now more often than what we were before. And that was always a service that we offer, was transportation, but now it just becomes more prevalent because people are like, yeah, that's far. It's already hard enough to get people to drive past the rivers.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So, but yeah, I mean, so that's, we're doing that. And then I stood up my dog trainer coaching business, dog trainer CEO, which has been a lot of fun. I got a couple clients in that I'm working with, and they're already seeing massive improvements in their businesses based off of, what we have going on. And I was completely transparent about them with this whole thing.
Yeah.
Because I figured if anybody can learn from what we're going through with this, they can, because a lot of them, they're one-off trainers or two-off trainers that want to grow and scale, but don't realize what it actually entails to have 5, 10, 15, 20 employees.
Yeah, no. Most people don't. They think it gets so much easier.
It gets so much harder.
Yeah, well, and for most of us too, we get into what we do because of passion. You're not getting into it because of the math. Oh, I want to do this and I'm going to use this to do it. Like somebody that were to go out, I got a friend of mine years ago and I always thought this was weird. Like I wanted to go into business, so I was going to start martial arts school, teach this. He wanted to go into business. He was looking at what franchises were the best offer to buy into and what was he going to do. And he bought a commercial cleaning company, bought into that, was building it out. And it was a completely different process for him. He wanted to be self-employed and manage people. I was pursuing something from a passion. Both of us were passionate about entrepreneurship, but we went about it different ways. Yeah. So for a lot of us that do it that way, it's when you get to that more corporate point where you are just managing employees, it is. And it
sucks.
It is. It's weird. And it's with the painting for me was the same thing. Like I was so out of it and I was trying to coach painters and manage. And basically all I was doing at that point was just babysitting. And then, oh, well, this one said that or that one, it was stupid. Now, as I look to scale the martial arts world and scale my business there, it's going to be a little different because I'm going to be hands-on because I'm coaching and mentoring and teaching, but I'll also be at the belt graduations and be part of the different things we do. So that I think will help balance that
the corporate versus the small.
Yes, for me, because I'll still be out there. I'll still be able to show up and like when I'm there auditing a school, checking some things, jump in and help them lead a class, or they're having struggle to help that kid. Like I'm still helping people. Yeah. That was a big thing for me with painting. It was like we grew it, we scaled it, but I wasn't helping anybody. Like I wasn't, that did do it for me just to be like, oh, I got a bunch of painters. Didn't make me feel good.
Right.
Didn't scratch that itch at all. So I know I'll be able to scale the academies that way because that's there. But with you doing the coaching too, people can learn a lot from your situation, because I think a lot of people think when they see these coaches and they see these reels, and some of these really high level guys are getting good about being transparent on it, but people think it was perfect for them.
Right.
They just went pew straight to the top, and that's why they got all the answers. No, they had to deal with all the bullshit too.
Just like everybody
up, down,
else.
yeah. So like your situation is probably great for them to learn from and to help you too assess them on, is this really what you want? Right. Do you really want to scale? You know?
And that was a question that Kayla and I had too with each other, where, do we truly want to build this to where it's multiple locations, hundreds of employees or dozens of employees, wherever it looks like? Or is it time to bring it back to reality and, it be just us to, really hone in on the quality and just focus on our family and the dogs that we can personally touch, because that's how we started. We've now done the big box thing, and I would still consider us fairly big box, even though we're at the ranch versus in a commercial space. But what does that look like, and what does the future of that look like? Because I could 100% go back to just doing me. Just like I'm 100% sure if you wanted to just be,
I could just teach.
Right.
Yep,
and
I could
be
just do it.
Completely happy, and the income would be enough, you would be able to sustain and be content, not have, you wouldn't have this huge lavish lifestyle, but you would be comfortable.
Yes.
You know, and your life would be a lot simpler.
That's yeah, no, and that's where I am at the moment. I'm there. I'm teaching, I'm coaching, I'm doing my thing, and it's like, this is cool, but I do want to do more with it. But I get what you say. You have the choice. You're like, okay, I've done the big, I can go, I can scale, or this simpler thing sounds really nice too.
And maybe, you know, and we still haven't made a final decision on any of this. This is still stuff that we're trying to figure out. But, you know, maybe we do cut back for 6 months, a year, get back to ground zero, reestablish, and then, you know, my wife's talking about standing up a dog trainer school where they come in and they work with us for 6 months or, you know, 3 months, learn the ins and outs of being an actual dog trainer, that they can get enough education and experience that they can go in the real world and successfully train dogs, you know, and then do a bunch of modules and things off of that. So like, and I told her, I was like, that's great, and I would love to do it. Not right now. Yeah. There's just too much. Yeah. You know? So yeah, I mean, and it's a wild ride, you know, being a business owner and, you know, seeing things go. And then I've, you know, obviously we've been friends for over a year now, probably almost 2 years now. And watching your development and everything has been awesome. Like, I love watching your Facebook page because you do so much, and like how you get the kids involved in the gym sessions and, you know, the tournaments, and
thank you.
You know, it's, your social media is on point, and I love that what you do with your family. And it's like, you know, I keep telling my wife, I'm like, that's what I want. Like, we need to do that. So did you see my post? I got accepted for the scholarship for the We Defy martial arts.
I'll have to go back in and look. I don't remember.
So We Defy is a nonprofit. It's a national nonprofit. And what they do is they give combat veterans a year's scholarship to a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu studio.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. I did see that.
Yeah.
Yes. I did see that.
I start next month. Yeah, so I'm excited about that.
Where at?
I'm the only place that was close that does it. Is O'Fallon, Gracie's
Barra.
I think Gracie Barra, yeah.
Okay.
Because the guy here in Winsville that I was going to, he didn't. I told him about it. I was like, "Hey, dude, sign up for this thing because I'm gonna apply for it, and if I get it, it's free money for you." You know. And I guess he never did, because when I got the scholarship and I went through to find out what gyms were, the only one that was O'Fallon. So, and they had
that's an awesome program though.
Yeah, I mean they'll give you money for up to 2 gis, your belts, and then, you know, if you need one-on-one sessions per, you know, individual cases, they'll work on that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty excited.
That's cool, and having that outlet too is going to mean a lot for you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I just was talking to some people today about, you know, when you dial in your personal life, everything else gets a lot more clear. You know, with everything I've got going on, I've been hitting the gym religiously and really focusing on it, focusing on my growth, my health, my food. And yeah, it does eat up some time that I would love to be getting some other crap done, but I'm able to handle it all better.
Yeah.
And it's important for that, especially where you're at with all the massive changes going on, having something where you can just dial in and do has got to be huge.
Yeah.
Has got to be huge for you.
And that's, well, and so the big problem with me now is, as when we had the commercial space, I had a break. I could go home.
Yeah, no, now it's,
Now they're at my home.
Yep.
And it's not that just they're at my home, they're in my home.
Yes.
You know, so like we've got 7 staff members that are running around the farm, you know, in between the house, the kennels, you know, and as we've been building out the runs in the kennel, the dogs are in my basement and spread out throughout my house. So it's like I'm so inundated in it right now. Like,
having an escape is necessary.
Plus having a 6-month-old baby.
Yep. That gets to be a lot. Well, I know that my original plan with the painting company is build a house and then put the shop on it. And a friend of mine, Ryan Craig, owns Craig and Sons. He's like, don't do that. You want to be able to go home. Yeah. Go home, eat your lunch. And I was like, and he goes, and you never know who you're going to hire. You know, with the contracting field, you know, you never know where you're going to have that one person that you just don't want them at your house. Right. And it was with the martial arts, it's different. I wouldn't want that at my house anyways, but being close to it's not a big deal. But like you said, it is important to be able to go home and just breathe. So I could see it. But that's a lot of change. That's getting rid of that. But it seems like it's for the better. It seems like that's where you need to be at.
I think it's gonna be a blessing. You know, Kayla and I have been like diving head first, like really hard these last 6 months into faith, even more so than last year when I came back. And like we did a lot of praying over this and a lot of thinking, and you know, and it was crazy because at one point we were both on the same page of, you know what, we're gonna fight tooth and nail to stay in the commercial space.
Yeah.
Because at one point, like when they came to me originally, I was terrified. I was like, what does this mean? And then, you know, I talked to my pastor and talked to her, and she's like, well, God will never make you do anything out of fear. And I was like, okay, well, I'm terrified to leave, so maybe that's not the route, right? And then all of a sudden, I had like this realization and just like this complete ease come over me. It was like, just let it go.
Yeah, wild, right?
And I was like, okay. And then I told Kayla that, and I woke up one morning, I told her that, and she was like, complete opposite. She's like, God's telling me that we need to stay, and so we were at ends for a minute.
That'd be a hard one.
And you know, so we eventually figured it out, and you know, but I truly believe that it's going to be a blessing. You know, to me, it can only get better. And then every time we've ever had to readjust our business, whether it was, you know, starting over from another franchise, like when we left Ridgeside to do our own thing, and then moving from, you know, the kennel at the rescue to the commercial space, and then now moving back, and then also like the intertween when we worked for other franchises and things like that. Every time we've had to take a step back, it has quadrupled or more slingshot process, you know, on those step backs. So I can only imagine, you know, this is only going to blow up.
Well, that's how I always looked. I can't say it. Not how I always looked at it. This last time when I started getting away from the coaching for painting and all the different things I had going and downsizing. Now I just got 2 painters. Everything's easy. Guys take care of it. You know, I remember faith took a big part of it for me. But I remember sitting around the computer and I was doing some stuff, and I was like, you know, because when I went on with Rise, I mean, I paid Aaron $30,000 to coach me.
Right.
And I said, yo, and it's been great. I went from him coaching me to turning everything around at the school. And when I say turn around everything at school too, like financially turned everything around, but energy wise, like, and I struggle the same place he does too with, now that we're working with clients when I just don't know. I don't know. And I'm like, I'm telling you, it works. It's changed my life this year. Do this and this, they're not going to be mad at you. You know,
is this coaching clients or
yes,
is this
coaching clients? So I now I've been taking on coaching clients myself through Under Rise with Aaron. He's teaching me that. But when we'll be on calls or we'll be talking to different ones, or we'll be at events, him and I are chatting with them, and they're like, I don't know. I'm like, no, I'm telling you. Because one of the things we teach them is if you have clients coming in and they're buying and they're paying for programs, like a lot of people, I don't want to upsell. We sell bundles. I got this week, let's say, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there's 5 emails a day, 5 text messages a day going out to everybody at school. Private lesson bundles. Private lessons are normally $100. Buy 10 for $250. It's a one-time sale. Pay off what's left of your program for the year. I give you 12 months free. And then the third one, the one that drops today or to partially dropped yesterday, it's a 2-year prepay for $2,900. It's a $9,000 program for $2,900. These are good deals. The people that are buying these, I had a family come in last week, prepay for the entire family of 5. It was a $7,000 program. Well, it was $50,000 for their kids to train for 5 years is what it comes out to. But it was $7,000 if they pay it now. They've been in class every night.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're spending money, they're investing in their program, and they're happy because they're getting a good product. I'm not offering them that, and then I'm just sitting at the desk. Yeah. Do a kick. Right. Oh, sorry, guys, I'm late tonight. Like, when they walk in, I'm in uniform, I'm ready to rock and roll because there's a good product. And we try to explain that to people. But I remember sitting there with Casey. I had paid him $30,000. I was closing everything up. I was downsizing stuff. I got vans sitting in my house. And I was just at peace. And I was like, wow, this is where I'm supposed to be. Yeah. This is where God wants me to go. I wasn't listening. He made things hard on me to direct me like where he wanted me to go. Like when I really started being looking back, introspective, looking back on everything, I was like, yeah, there's been a lot of signs. I just wasn't listening. My head was, I got to go this way. And there's a religious company that sells a t-shirt that says, I tried it myself. And it's something on the back, like it didn't work, but with God it did or something. It was great because I feel that because I was like, no, I'm gonna do it this way. And even right now, like I was trying to keep a couple painters on and bid a little bit. Every other job, something had happened. I'm like, okay, okay, just don't get me sued, okay?
Right.
Like I see. I kept looking at this guy. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just letting him know.
I got it.
I'm not gonna because I'd like leave school, go do a couple bids, and then there's something stupid had happened. I was like, yeah, okay, I get it. Stay at the dojo, right where you want me. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you. Just like and like I remember sitting there on a computer and I was just at peace. But I remember the thing that kind of ran through my head, like you said, every time you take a couple steps back, you boom, boom, boom forward. Yeah. And I don't ever remember who. One of my goals in life is to better remember quotes. Buddy Jim that's training me, we both will try to say quotes. Right. Up so bad. But it was basically like, this is the start of my comeback story.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, so I'm at that point now. This is the start of that like really awesome comeback story. It's going to happen. It's like, cool. I can't wait to see where I'm at in a year. Right. And I kept telling myself that because I'm like, God, this sucks right now. But it's like, or it's just scary, or, when I tell people that, hey, painting companies do 1.5 million a year, I've downsized it, just focused on martial arts. People are like, even people that know me and like are at the school and see it and everything are still like, really? Yeah. Like, did you sell it? No, just dwindle it down. Just got 2 guys. I'm good. Just keeping them as long as I got work for them. Yeah. But why? Like even people that know are still like, but what? Like, why would you do that? Well, because I hated doing it. Right. I scaled it up. I didn't like it. And everything was a pain in the butt. Everything was a problem. Like, that's all I did was walk into problems every day. And I'm like, wow, now I know why old contractors are so mean and grumpy, like, and drunk. Like, I get it. The best thing I ever did for my health was to go down to 2 guys, my strut, like everything. Yeah. So I get it. Like, that's got to be a scary situation. But then knowing that, like, this is where you're supposed to be at with it. This is the change maybe that needed to be made. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah. And I mean, every time I thought about it, prayed for it, talked to somebody about it, like even this conversation, is, and it's not even like so part of when we were moving out of the building and we were praying,
that's a lot of stuff to move too, man. That's a big building.
Moving the stuff wasn't even the hard part. It was the flooring. There was 40 something 50 by 4 foot rubber rolls of rubber flooring that weigh about 400 pounds a piece. So getting those out of there and into my storage unit was horrific. Yeah. But when we were doing all this and we were I was praying about, like, God, show me signs, smack me in the face with it, co-cock me, let me run into it.
Same conversation.
But even when I was saying that, I think in my head, I wanted to stay in the building. Yeah. And I was looking for signs to stay in the building. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what happened? We started to lose money. Yeah. We weren't making sales. And it was like, okay, there's the sign. Like, if I can't pay the bills, then I guess, Yeah. And literally the day that I made that decision, we had a $30,000 day. I'm like, okay, there it is. It's like, I see it. I hear it. I got you. We're moving.
Nope.
Feet are on the ground. Let's go.
Yep. Same thing. Yep. Same exact thing. I'd run out to go do a paint job. I'd be like, oh, things are getting tight. I'm going to go do a paint job. And Aaron would be like, hey, man, here's these bundles. Do this. I was like, And I need to get a bunch of equipment for the school. And I wanted to get a little car for Casey to drive because I'm actually buy a second one this month. But we're doing these 2 little Chevy Cruises and wrapping them for the school. And nice. I was like, I just want to buy it cash, be done with it. And I was like,
you're not going to use your paint vans?
Yeah. No. I can't wait to not drive a paint van. I was, at one point I was like, I'm going to keep one. I'll keep all my promotional stuff in it. And I'm like, no, I'm fine getting a little car. I drive too much.
Right.
But we were looking at it. I'm like, well, I'll just go because I kept my safety net. Go get a paint job. Somebody calls up, wants a $40,000 building painted. I mean,
Why
It's
not?
20 grand that day.
Right.
But then it prolongs the headaches. And I was sitting there and I just messaged Aaron. I'm like, hey, I want to make 20 grand. What do I do? He broke it down. He said, offer this special. They're getting an amazing deal. You're going to get prepays, $18,050 in like 20 hours. And I was like, okay, so if I offer a stellar product here, structure my programs right, do the bundles, pitch it correctly, cool, I didn't have to go bid the paint job. And
Right.
I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, thank you, because I was like, because normally, you get a good response from it, but that was an extra good response. And because for the size of the program and what we offered, it was a great deal. Basically, if you prepaid what you owed for the year, you get a free year. I mean, it was, people were running in. They're like, this is stupid. I was like, yeah, I know. Trust me. I was looking at it, but because I was still new with him, so I didn't really understand how this worked.
Yeah.
I was like, that was a really good deal. Like, because some people had like $1,200-$1,500, and I was like, wow, they're getting your butt made to 20 grand overnight. I was like, okay, interesting. Did need to go do the paint job. I was like, thank you for showing me that, okay, if I structure it right, I could survive off this. Because I kept telling Casey, I was like, I got to get the painting company to a spot, if not just completely get everything done, so that I force myself to focus on the martial arts. That's been Aaron's big thing with me for coaching me, is he's like, you this is where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
He's like, the big thing now is adding small locations and getting myself more to coaching the instructors, building the schools, leading the groups, teaching the leadership. We've got a opportunity to roll out a program under Andy Elliott for martial arts leadership to teens and kids, and we got a lot of really cool, these opportunities keep coming up to where it's like, okay, this is where I feel like every time I get to be like, I don't know, then boom, 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 I'm like, oh
Yeah.
gotcha, thank you. Like, once you're aware of the signs and you're looking for the signs, Aaron hit me up on a call last week. He's like, sell it, move to Vegas. Because that's where he's at. He goes, we'll open 10 schools. He goes, just me and you. Let's go. And I was like, man, I don't know. And then I had a couple things happen over the week. I was like, no, I need to stay here. This is where I need to be.
Yeah.
That's not for me. I don't think that'd be a good choice. But I was really torn, because I was like, that's a pretty killer offer.
Right.
Because I'll be in Houston with him this weekend, and I've got to have an answer for him, because I know he's going to be like, what is it?
Right.
But it's wild how once you see that, it helps. So like with you downsizing that, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Right.
Here you go. It just reassures you, you're like, okay, I'm making that right decision.
And I feel like everybody, man, business, whatever, like, you get to a point where you should be comfortable, but you're not.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like in those moments, like you're striving, I'm going to call it a pillar, you're striving for that goal. And as you get to the pillar, you should be comfortable, because that's the goal. But then God shifts it on you, and then you get uncomfortable because your target is shifted, right? And then now it's like you're sitting there going, "What the hell do I do now?" Right? I thought I was there. I thought I made it, and then now it's like, okay, we got to go that much further out of our comfort zone. And then it moves again, and then it moves again, and I feel like that's what keeps happening. Which is awesome, because it keeps you on your toes, and it makes you really dig into faith and lean on God, because otherwise.
Well, and we grow as humans too.
Yeah.
I did a solo podcast the other day, and I just talked about the business. Like the growing the painting business, scaling the painting business, doing everything. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I learned I didn't want to do that, but I also learned a lot about how to do it,
Yeah.
where I did things wrong. I never understood why I kept doing it. Well, it was there to teach me, so that now when I scale out martial arts schools, it's going to be different. There's things I'm going to uphold. There's plans and processes in place because of those other things.
Well, and like you told me when we did our first podcast, when you were explaining the type of people that you have for the contractors, and then the type of people you have for your school. And there were certain expectations and things you could have for these guys that you couldn't have for these guys, but there was definitely expectations you could have for these guys that these guys
no way. Yes.
Right? And I feel like that, learning that leadership shift and being able to manipulate that, not necessarily manipulate, it's probably a bad word, but manage that, is only going to improve you.
Yes.
You know, as you develop these other things.
For sure. And I noticed like you're dealing with, you're going to have a lot of the same thing. A friend of mine has 5 schools, and when we sit down to talk, it's so similar. You know, cleaning up, people don't want to clean up. Like there's just some things that are just, that's why you're there.
Basic stuff.
Yeah, for us, but for others, Josh literally had to sit down with a guy and discuss it. Bro, you got to use soap. You stink. And he goes, you know how hard it was to sit down with a grown adult and have that conversation.
Right.
Like, why? Are we doing that? But he talks about it. Grant Cardone, a lot of them talk about, like, if their car's trash, don't hire them.
Yeah.
Their car's full of trash, everything's trash, everything's shitty. They're not holding themselves together. You don't want them. But there is a lot of that with the martial arts. So you're dealing with people that want leadership. They want guidance. They're like us. They've had coaches. They've hired coaches. They've trained. They've learned. You're not dealing. It's a different mentality.
Yeah.
And that's where that will transform. These people are only going to be receptive to this. So where do I fall in? Now, from the outside, though, people look at it, and when they see you shift in business, they look at it like, oh, you failed, or, oh, you messed up.
Yeah.
I don't think they always comprehend that you grow.
Right.
Your goals change. Like, I was like, I'm going to have 30 painters. I'm going to do this, that. And as I got closer to it, I was like, oh my gosh, there is no way I want that. My goal changed.
Yeah.
Working with Rise and working with Aaron, one of the things he pointed out, he goes, you're good at motivating and leading. He said, you need to be leading more adults that have more schools. You need to multiply yourself, not just be in there teaching the 5-year-olds every night. Yes, right. You love that. If that's what you want to do the rest of your life, great. But here's where the opportunity is, and he wasn't the first person to kind of break it down like that to me. He's like, you need to be doing more. And I was like, wow, you're right. And that'll also scratch that itch for me of helping, teaching, guiding, not just going in and grinding it out on the mats. Because I know at some point, like even right now, man, we have a really busy week and those classes are packed every night. Like I'm
beat.
Yeah. Tuesday night I trained with my teens, my kids, worked out with Jim, did all my stuff at school, taught the class all night, and I was exhausted. I got home, I didn't eat.
Right.
Oh, man, I feel it Wednesday. I was like, I am not going to bed. I don't care if I just sit and eat a piece of cold chicken.
Right.
I'm getting calories in me because, man, the next morning I felt terrible. Almost felt hungover.
Yeah.
Like it was brutal.
You're just drained.
Yeah, it was brutal all day. I was like, I'm not getting sick, but damn, if it wasn't for the fact I know my body, like right. I feel like it.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's hard too because we let that mentally weigh on us too. Like people probably see your signs on, oh shit, they think we went out of business, or with your coaching stuff, people see that. Like I didn't know if you were rebranding there for a second or what you were doing, and I was like, oh no, he's coaching. That's awesome. And I love the stuff you're putting up. I've been watching a lot of it.
Yeah, I wish I had the time to post as much as you do.
Dude, it's all scheduling.
I know.
It's all scheduling. It's really not that bad. Or, if everybody knew that like 99% of my Facebook posts were done on the toilet.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll be sitting there Sunday night and I'm like, all right, this business, I got to do this. Okay. ChatGPT, give me an outline. All right, cool. Post. All right, next business.
It'll do the same thing. I've been making, because we've been doing a lot of WhatsApp messages, and I have to make a mental note when I do my to-do list. So I get to school, I set up, I do a to-do list. I write down, I just free flow, scribble out everything that I can think of. And then as I start doing things, I'll be like, oh, go back in and check that message. So like we're onboarding Simplified Services. Kristen is going to be taking care of a lot of the background with her VAs, which I use the word VA loosely because they're all here stateside. It's not overseas. And what we're doing is every week we're picking a new task. So like this week and last week, we've been going through all the payroll programs, the software we're using, and writing SOPs on all of it. Exactly how we're going to do it, what's transparent. So we have a WhatsApp group where I post everybody's hours. She's in the group. She can double check, send me. We're breaking it down every week. And I realized last night she had sent me a text and she's like, I can't do anything until you respond to my other message. I was like, crap, I had like 23 things I missed message-wise because I forgot about WhatsApp. So I hopped in there, got caught up, messaged a couple people. And that's one thing that's taught me too a lot about communicating with my students is you got to break through the noise. Yeah. So like I do announcements every class. I hate doing announcements every class, but you got to break through the noise because they get texts, they get emails. But I'm the same way. I'll sit down, I'll be like, check WhatsApp, check Messenger, check Facebook, check text, go through emails, and then I'll have, all right, don't forget to post, boom, 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 boom. Like my Leadership Academy group I created, I've been slacking on posting in there. Because I also did the group chat for it, which is so easy to hit the video.
Right.
And just pop, that's so simple. Yeah. But yeah, it's getting that consistency until you get to that point where you have a team.
Right.
But then for me, the struggle I have is a lot of times by the time I sit down and update the team on it, I could have just done it.
Right.
Then
it's not. And then I also feel like it's not authentic.
Yeah, you really do struggle with the authentic that part of it.
Unless you have like millions and millions of dollars, like Dan Martell, and you can just hire a content team just to follow you around.
That's what I mean. You've got to get to the point where Bradley, Martell, and them are where they just, those guys are just there with.
They're no longer making content; they're just recording life.
Yes, they're documenting it. Yeah, no, and that's what I've always tried to do when I post anything is just document what's going on, take a minute. And there's days where I'm not as good. There's other days where like we were driving home from Knoxville, so Casey loves to be the one driving. I was like, go for it. I sat there and just scheduled out. I was on a roll. My brain was going from being coached and coaching all weekend and doing stuff, and I was just boom, 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 knocking stuff out.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's hard. You sit down and do that, and then doing your job on top of doing all that stuff that's part of your job, you're like, good Lord.
Right.
It gets to be a lot. But with the transition out to the farm, like, how do you see that going? Are you still feeling it out?
So it can either follow one or two paths, I think. We finish off the ranch, get the kennel set up and all that stuff, and then start focusing on the satellite location. I put a bid on one satellite location. It was just a lease, but they ended up leasing it out underneath me before I could actually solidify a contract or anything. It was just here in Wentzville. And there's a flex space I'm looking at in St. Peter's that I think would be really ideal. Because all I need is open space. I don't need anything crazy.
Me too. There's 3 different places where martial arts schools have went under, and I'm going to look at 2. It was funny. I didn't realize that my old spot in Wentzville's open again, and I'm like sentimentally, like, let's go back. Because I want to put a school here eventually too.
But back to the roots.
That spot, it's on the other side of town, and I don't want to be. I want to be on this side of town.
Yeah.
And that was even a problem then, is people didn't want to screw across and over the highway.
Yeah.
And it hurt me all the time. So I know better, but I drove by and seen it today. I was like, but there's a couple other sides, because I'm the same. It's just a big open space, which people would think, oh, it's probably easy. No, it actually makes it a lot harder, because most everything's broken into offices.
Right.
And when you come in and want to demo everything, they're like, whoa, hold on. They're not as open to tear it all out as people think.
Yeah, even though they say they are.
Yeah, no, because they know the next person's going to want
offices
built that. Well, and then with the offices, you've got the HVAC. Because I don't know because your other place had really high ceilings.
Massive, 12 foot ceilings.
Yeah. And you probably need higher ceilings and stuff, don't you? No, you could just do it regular. Oh, that's a nice benefit then.
Yeah, I mean,
see, we need a little bit higher of a ceiling just for the bow staffs and even just swords. Just striking with a sword, you got to be careful. That's why the spot I'm in Troy works so well. Is that's the one plaza that doesn't have drop ceiling; it has drywall, and so it's a 10 foot, 10 foot. And that's so nice.
Yeah.
That was a big, when I walked in it, I'm like, oh, this will work.
No, the only thing that we would need a high ceiling for is if we were going to do the wall climbs for like the pit bull stuff.
Yeah.
And that's 13 feet, 14 feet. So you couldn't even get that in most places anyway.
No, you couldn't get that.
So like at the last place, we had a 12 foot ceiling, so we had a 12 foot, but also beginner dogs aren't running a 12 foot wall.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, for us, anything works, really, just big open space.
Nice.
But yeah, so I see that there goes that route where we do the board and trains out at the ranch, open satellite location for individual lessons and group, and possibly drop off location for board and trains.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be handy, wouldn't it?
If we don't go that route, and then potentially, if we do start to downsize or whatever, and it just becomes me and Kayla and maybe one other person or whatever, what'll probably end up happening is we'll raise our pricing a little bit, so I can downsize the amount of dogs I'm taking.
Well, you could dial in and focus more on the lesser
Correct.
number. Yeah.
And then really just go back to the way that I was doing things before. 5-6 dogs once a month. Everybody, all the previous clients meet up and do a big pack training, versus like all the group lessons and all this other stuff, and just really focus on the people that are spending the money with us. Because that was my big thing too with getting big, is you needed income in any way you could, right? Whether it was group lessons, individual lessons,
your job at that point is acquiring money.
Correct. I hated group lessons.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that I hated the people in group lessons. When you're only paying $200 for 10 sessions, and that's the only thing you can either afford or you're willing to do, you're not in it for the dog.
Nope.
You're just doing it because you're supposed to get training for your dog.
Yeah.
Because I would rather take somebody who really wants to get training for their dog and give them a free package and actually get them results.
Yes.
And I've done that a ton.
Yeah.
Like last year we donated over $70,000 worth of dog training.
That's amazing.
Like I donated more than a lot of people make in a year.
Yeah.
You know, it's ridiculous. And so if and I do that all the time. Like I've had people come to me and go, I have this problem with this dog. I can't afford your training, but I don't want to go anywhere else. And it's like, okay, just give me your damn dog. We'll get it figured out.
Yeah.
You know? And I also have people that come to me and are like, hey, I can pay this much. Can I do payments? Well, go apply for one of our financing programs.
Yeah.
And if you get denied through there, then we'll talk about if we can do an in-house one.
Yeah.
You know? But you're going to have to pay this much to make it happen and things like that. And we do that all the time, you know?
Well, and that's the big thing I'm trying to explain to martial artists too, that, well, if I raise my prices, people will go, I'll be honest, we go from a 30-day trial. It's a 90-day trial, but at 30 days we sit down and talk. And really at that point, I want you to
sell you on.
I want you to be like, you know what, we want to be in the program. If you're still on the fence, I've only had like 2 or 3 actually end up going ahead and converting because they pretty much were out the door. They didn't want to make the commitment. But by us having the more of a financial commitment and more of a time commitment, because you got to commit to the time, you got to be part of the programs, because you go from that into a full program. Yes, I have people say toodles, but we shake hands. It's all, hey, they don't want to, or they'll tell me, you know what, baseball's coming up. I'm a big baseball guy. I want my kid to do baseball. No problem. Hey, man, I respect that. Right. Thank you. We're not wasting each other's time.
But the expectation was set up front that this is what's going to happen.
And those people are always there.
Yeah.
They're at class. We had, when we were $99 a month, I had tons of issues of people showing up in their uniform, having their crap, being at class they're supposed to, reading emails, the whole nine. At almost $300 a month and offering these prepay packages, we went to a standard uniform. I don't allow t-shirts or anything else. This is what you wear. You have this one and you wear it every night, which would, in theory, before they had shorts, they had t-shirts, they had a couple options, they had this and that, and they're still in the wrong shit.
Right.
Now they only have one.
And they're always right.
Always in it because you took away all the choices. They have one choice. But we've established at the beginning the commitment to the program. They know what they're committed to, and this is what they're doing. Yeah. I have almost 40 kids going to a tournament next week.
Nice.
I haven't had 40 kids do a tournament in 5 years. But because these people are committed, they're doing it, they're paying for the private lessons and stuff, they're like, yeah, let's do a tournament. I want to see how my child does. The mentality of the clientele changed. Now,
well, they bought in.
Is the product better? Yeah, the product's a lot better because I'm paid.
Right.
So I'm able to dial myself in on the mats. I'm not sitting there going, what am I going to do about a car payment this month? Or what am I juggling? I'm dialed in. Plus I'm held accountable because someone that's coming in and, I've got several families spending $700-800 a month on average. I don't care if I'm kind of run down. They walk in that door like we're lighting up. I'm turning it up for the kid, for everybody in the room.
Yeah.
But because the money doesn't do it for me, but their commitment. Everybody walks in with their crap. Everybody's got their gear. Everybody's excited. Put a video up the other day. Everybody watching class. No one was on their phone. That turns me up to a 10 on the mats. Then I'm ready to go. Yeah. I'm killing it. But try to explain that to people too, that like that $200 a month or whatever person, they don't care. They're not interested. They're not engaged. They're not doing any of the stuff you show them when they leave. It's just a waste of your time. And then it bums you out to even go do it. I was in the same place, but my man, and somebody, I shared the post. I think it was Ty Lopez shared it, something about your highest paying client will never be your most complaining, or you'll always have the most problems with the lowest paid person in the room.
As long as your product is good.
Yes, as long as your product is good. Yeah. No. That's the problem people forget too. Is we got to make that assumption when you're doing that. Aaron always talks about on the Rise calls. He goes, "I'm assuming
that you're on fire.
You're good at martial arts." He said, "It's why these calls are about sales and generating income." He goes, "We're making that assumption." He goes, "And I can tell you right now, I'm wrong on that a lot because it goes, I've seen some of y'all. Like let's just be real.
Yeah.
You got to turn it up to a 10. But that's the truth. But when you're doing that, you got all those. So if you dial it back, go up, you're probably not going to change your income a whole lot because your overhead goes down. But and then you're able to dial yourself in. You have that piece.
Yeah. And I feel like that's like you just said, right? My bills are covered. Mm-hmm. The stress of payroll. Income for the building, the $2,000 a month electric bill over there at that stupid place.
I was going to say, I can't imagine. I know a 12,000 square, that's the other thing people with the Taekwondo schools. A friend of mine the other day was like, "Oh, I really love your setup." I'm like, "Dude, it's great. The electric bill's $350.
Yeah.
Takes an hour to clean. There's no way I would go any bigger than this ever." Even people all the time are like, "I got 7,000 square foot, but the rent's really cheap." It's like, yeah, but electric and all the cleaning and everything else, it's still going to add up.
We had for the cleaning for the building, it was like the front always got cleaned every day.
Yeah.
But then we had to rotate portions.
Yeah. You couldn't do it.
No,
it'd be full
and I'm not paying a cleaning crew to come out and it would have drained me.
I would love to do that, but it's too much. Yeah. I would love to have a crew come in every night and disinfect the whole school. I clean it every day. But to have somebody come in every night after we leave and spot, just walk into place pristine would be amazing. But
it's too expensive.
Yeah.
Especially since COVID.
Yeah.
All those cleaning services have just skyrocketed.
Yeah, I haven't even priced a commercial one out, but I know just talking to local cleaning people, it's just not feasible. No. It's not in the budget. We can just sweep and mop and vacuum after class. It's not.
As long as ringworm's not spreading through.
Yep, exactly. I did see a video the other day. A guy was steaming jiu-jitsu mats. He had a walk-behind steamer made just for mats, and I was like, that I'm going to buy. Yeah. Just because I'd love to hit them once a week with a heavier duty one. Just because the soap residue builds up on them and it does build up. I would love to do that. I got to research that this week. So I'm like, well, if I have a couple locations, it'd be justify the spending of it.
Yeah. Just move it around.
Yeah. Just moving it around. I was like, that's not bad. That would be worth it. One place, because some friends of mine know I've talked about sharing one before. Yeah. They're like, man, it'd be great, but the money just for our place is kind of like, we'll just a little extra elbow grease.
Yeah, I tried doing the Roombas.
Yeah,
the robot vacuums, and it works, but they only cover so much space.
Yeah.
And what I was finding out was it would do a quarter of our big training floor, which was 5,000 square feet, and then it would just go back. And then it would never come back.
Yeah.
So we come in and the first quarter of it from the vacuum would be spotless. All the fur was up, everything. But then the rest of the floor, and you could literally see where it was at. Yep. And so I tried to get a couple of them. And I was just my goal was we weren't let them run at night. Just clean the whole freaking place. It never worked.
No, a couple buddies of mine have 2 or 3 of them in small martial arts schools, and they work okay. But they've even admitted that the best one are the $1,400 ones or whatever, the really expensive. I'm like, I'm not spending $5,000 on vacuums running. It only takes me a minute to run over it with my broom.
Right.
I'm not, because I had thought about that, and then people are like, oh, it'll message you in the middle of the night that it's all hanging on a cliff and it'll just be tipping off the mats. I'm like, the first time it wakes me up at 4 a.m.
I'm
because
done.
of that.
It's going to the trash.
Right to the dumpster.
It turns into a Frisbee.
Yep. I was like, nope, I know exactly. I'll be the $1,400 Frisbee going to the trash. My wife will be like, I knew you were going to do that. I was like, I'm not nope, because I've thought about it, but it really just doesn't take me that long. And honestly, for me, I'll be on the computer, I'll be on Zooms, I'll be doing this. It's a nice break. Yeah. I'll go out, sweep everything and vacuum, go back to work for a little bit, and then hit it with the mop. I'm done. Wipe everything with disinfectant. It just is what it is.
For our new kennel, at the ranch, is going to be nice because the commercial space was a retail shop. It wasn't designed to be what we had it as.
Yeah, no, I bet.
And where we had the kennel in there was one drain at the far end where the sprinkler system was. Well, from the drain, it actually went down the slope And then from the other side, it went down. So there was this big pool area in the middle of the floor of our kennel. So we literally had to take squeegees every time we cleaned and drug the water all the way down to the drain. Well, now, like at my ranch, my outbuilding has 3 drains already pre-done in them, and 2 of them are right over where the kennels are going to be. So literally, we're going to be able to go through, foam disinfect, spray out with the hose, no mops, squeegee, scrunch brushes, clean it all up. It'll be done in like 30 minutes.
Nice.
So that'll be more efficient. I got outdoor runs, so the dogs can be outside instead of hanging out in kennels in the runs and indoors. They can be outside. It's just going to be so much more.
It sounds like it should be a way better process for you and for the dogs.
Yeah.
Probably just a better setup, sound-wise, too. I mean, you're in a commercial area. You got people around. You got things, probably better focus, too, for you guys and just for everything in general.
Yeah. Plus, we got a creek that the dogs can swim in, which is going to be fun.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, what dog? Yeah, like, they would love that. That's amazing.
So.
Well, and then you do the satellite. I mean, it makes sense, too, because, like you said, you could just having a remote pickup spot would probably be huge.
Yeah, and even if my thought was we start at 2 days a week. We don't even have to run it 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Run it 2 days a week. Do like a Monday, Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday, Monday, Thursday, something like that. And then a pickup day until it gets too full. Then we have to figure out from there.
Well, that's what I did with the Taekwondo school. When I opened it in Troy, I did 1 day a week until we got to where we had enough people in class that I could do more. And I always tell people that. I'm like, until you have some students, don't go out and just kick the doors open on something and be like, we're here 5 days a week. Like, build it up. That way, when you are there, it's full. You get some people going, start a club, and build it to something. And doing that where you get it. Plus, it gets your name out in another area, and they're like, oh, wow, you do. Oh, and we can come out here. Like, it sounds like a great way to do it without getting too big.
Yeah.
12,000 square foot facility. I mean, the amount of staff you got to have just to keep the doors open on something like that gets brutal.
Yeah.
Gets really bad. That was one trouble we have with the painting company is I like to put the vans in at night. So always had to have a big shop, pull them inside. Nothing froze. They were clean. Nobody messed with them. Ready to go. Well, then it got to where I had to have a cleaning company come out to detail the vans, which wasn't bad. But it just kept upkeep on them. They kind of cleaned some of the paint off, looked good. Then it got to a point where I was like, all right, now I need a mobile mechanic coming out, changing oil, working on them. All right, shit, now I need a guy at the shop to manage all that, to make sure paint's stocked, to make sure this is all done. And then you get to a point with like the contracting trades where I was bidding against dudes in their pickup to where I was pricing myself out. We had to make a choice to go big commercial jobs to where we could afford that style shop or stay small. There just wasn't a
middle ground.
Yeah, there wasn't a middle ground. And then I almost needed to, and I talked to other contractors about it, I almost needed to go from the number of people I had, I needed to double it before I was going to actually see more profit in my pocket.
Yeah.
Out of the business. It was like, oh, that sounds horrible. Or doing the math on that, I'm like, no, let's go back a little bit. I'm not that, because the martial arts is where my heart is.
Yeah.
And with you, it's working with the dogs and doing that. That's been a part of your life that it's really hard to make it. Like I said, you got the people that just build something because they're a builder and this is a niche I need to fill. It's not because it's such a passion thing.
Right.
And that we got to watch it. We don't cripple ourselves with it.
Oh, 100%. 100%, because we will. Because somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, and you let your heart get in the way or that's one of the reasons I think that stepping up to where I'm managing multiple schools, being a part of the graduations, teaching the leadership and stuff, but I'm not the guy on the mat every night. I'll actually do 10 times better because my heart won't be in there when, oh man, Christmas is coming up. I won't let that type of stuff affect me because I won't be in that position. There'll be someone, and I've always said that, like, there were different places where I needed a buffer zone. Like when we had the painting company really big, I realized that I should have had a manager working with me, that everything went up to them and then came over to me. Instead, it went to me, and then I would delegate it out. Like I really structured things wrong to where even as we got bigger, I wasn't insulated. And that's what Dan Martell's book taught me a lot of. Like, quit hiring to fulfill a need, hire to take something away from your plate.
Correct.
I didn't even make it but like 3-4 chapters in his book, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I was out mowing the grass, and I'm like, okay, I need to do this. And like damn near was like, I just need to hire him. Be like, all right, dude, just lay this out for me. Like, because
dude, I reached out to Dan about his coaching, and he's got a year-long coaching program. It's like $7,000 or $10,000 or something like that. I don't know if you work directly with him or not.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not like a one-on-one. It's like a group coaching type thing, right? Those guys, you don't. If you're going to do one-on-one with them, you're paying. You're paying.
Bucks. Well, you're probably paying for Dan probably $100,000.
Yeah.
I know Andy. I think Andy Elliott. You're working one-on-one with him. I think it's $100.
Yeah.
They're. Whew.
Yeah. So, but even at that point, like being able to deal with his people directly and use his processes and scales and AI systems and all that kind of stuff, it'd be worth it totally.
Oh.
So
hands down, and the people that are against all that stuff, I think as a martial artist, it's easy for me with your military, like, because there's been a pecking order. You've had a coach, you've had someone above you, you've had a commander, you've had someone, like, it's just natural. I think for a lot of people that didn't do a lot of sports or didn't have a thing like that, it's like, who's this idiot? Why would I pay this person? Right. Well, because they're going to help you a lot, because they're going to say, hey, bro, and in the beginning, I didn't think it was really worth it when I first started business. But then once you learn stuff to where I was excited when I would meet people that were like starting and doing something, like, ooh, this is gonna happen next. Right. Don't do that.
Predicting the future.
Yeah, don't do that. You're gonna want to go this way, and people be like, I don't. And then you run into them, it'd be A or B. They'd either like, oh my God, you're right, or they'd be like, thank you. That's when like the coaching thing started making sense to me. I was like, oh, cool. I'm not paying someone to just tell me what to do. I'm paying someone to be like, all right, this is where this mistake is gonna happen. Here's what we're going to do for it now.
Right.
And that's been the best thing. Like Aaron and I do 4 group calls a week, which I help with now. And then we do one-on-one, or honestly, we do more. We have one-on-one schedule. We talk. He's already messaging me. That's like, I'm looking down.
Where you at?
I was like, what do you want? It really lays it out, because I'll be like, all right, we did this, this, and this. And he was talking to me about some things, and he's like, You missed a step. Something we broke everything down and looked at it, and he was like, here, you put too much here. That threw it off. He's like, all right, because he's been really working with me on like reverse engineering. Like, instead of going, I'm going to do this program because I want this, say, I want this goal. So say you want to make $100,000 a year profit. Reverse engineer from there. What do you need to charge for your program? How many kids do you need to have in it? Where does your location need to be? What do you need to do to get that? Because it's all math.
Right.
And if you lay it all out now, whereas everybody tries to like just throw it at the dartboard, see what hits, and then go from there, and then you don't hit your goal. Right. So like when we start working there, I was like, what about curriculum? He said, what do you want black belts to look like? I'm like, and he goes, tell me what you want a black belt to be able to do, and I'll tell you what your curriculum needs to be. And I realized really fast I did not need a very in-depth curriculum, because what I wanted from a good black belt was more of an understanding of what we do and a basic being able to do some of the stuff, but it wasn't anything really super crazy. Whereas before I had this super well-written curriculum with tons of content in it, but it did not get me
good martial artists.
Yes. Yeah, it was wild at taking that and how to reverse engineer it. And like, then when he started really pushing me to have multiple locations, as you know, with having employees and stuff, then you got to start looking at things differently. It's not just, oh, what do I want to do? Like the way my program is right now is perfect for me.
Yeah.
For me, because everybody in Troy knows, just sure, let's do Matt wants to teach leadership. That program, that leadership upgrade and different things is going to be harder on a guy that's in a St. Peter's area where people don't know him.
Right.
So it started forcing me to like look at stuff differently. And then Aaron started having me sit in on calls, and I would listen to excuses from other martial art instructors. And I like literally 3 seconds into the first call we did, I was like, hold on, I'm going to have to pause you real quick. I see why you have me do this call. Thank you. Because he was already laughing as soon as I told the guy to pause, because the dude came at him with the exact same excuse, or the exact way of answering the question that he had recently been yelling at me for. He's like, "Quit telling me a story, answer damn question." I'd be like, "But listen," he's like, "No, shut the hell up." Like, we were on a group call. He laid into me, and he goes, "I'm only doing this because I love him and I know." And as soon as we got our first coaching call, the guy's like, "So," and I was like, "Stop." I was like,
Gotcha.
I won't do that again, boss. And I just turned back around like, you can go now. I understand why I'm here today. And the guy was like, okay. I'm like, and Aaron was dying. He had his head down, shaking his head. Because as soon as the guy started talking, because we were at a mastermind thing and people were talking about their schools and, well, if we do this, but Betty really likes that class. And I'm like, you're judging your livelihood on a 6-year-old liking the class. And I was like, damn, I do that all the time. I just kept sitting there just doing one of these. And he was watching me because I would realize when other people would say it, I was like, wow, like that's so irresponsible for me to be like, oh, this little kid may not like it if I change something, but it's going to affect my kids going to college because of my economic situation. It's like, wow, like it's hard though when we're passionate.
Well, and we get in our own way.
Yes. Aaron Flau, our second call, third call, because I was doing everything he told me to do. Like we got our first call and he's like, what do you want to go over? He was kind of like, what do you want to do? He was doing something else. I'm like, I don't know. Paid you all the money. You tell me. Right. He goes, what do you mean? I said, I've tried it my way. We're doing it your way. You tell me exactly what to do. I got a piece of paper right now, steps. He like tossed all his shit. He's like, okay. I was like, you've been waiting to hear that all week, haven't you? He's like, I've been waiting for one of you dumbasses to listen. And he's like, let's go. And like by the third call, I was like, hey, here's where we're at on everything. He's like, all right, screw everything else. Here's what we've got to do now. This is your next step. And he's like, you must get in your own way. He said, because you're personality wise, like me implementing stuff he teaches has been super easy because we have a lot of similar traits. We're very synergy. So it's super easy for me to do some of the stuff that he does. I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. I'd say it that way too. And he did. He goes, you got to be getting in your own way. You got to be doing, he goes, and we discussed too, as you see too, as you get more successful, shiny objects, not possessions, but like other things you do. Ooh, you guys want me to come here? Ooh, you want me to do this? And the next thing you know, you're like, oh, I did all this shit this week. None of that made
anything
business any money.
Or it made me feel good.
Made you feel good, but it's like, okay, I can't do that.
And those are good things too, though, right? So, but you have to balance those, right? Yes. Like, so I did basically a free seminar for a working dog club down in Versailles, Missouri. I did my e-collar 101 class, and typically I sell that class for anywhere between like $600 to $1,000. It's like a 4 to 6 hour class. I gave it to them for $25. I made nothing, and I even gave it when the club president goes, "Here's your check," and I go, "Keep it for your club." Yeah, because like they got a dock diving pool and all this other kind of stuff, and they bring us down there and we have some fun with them. And I was like, I had fun. I recorded the whole thing. I'm going to flip this around and make a class, and I'm going to sell it online. So I will make money off this more than what keep it. And from that class, they've now sent us like 10, 15 people, right? Yes. I've done multiple online classes. They're bringing us back, and they're like, we're going to charge full price for this time. I go, okay. I was like, you don't have to. Like, I'll be more than willing to do it again, because I'll record it again, and now it'll be a little bit different. And I was like, and if we can do a second day where we can do more practical application, it'll be even more beneficial for everybody. So though I didn't make any money, it actually cost me money to drive out there. Yeah. It was fulfilling. Yes. Right? And I feel like a lot of guys, we do too much that fulfills our soul, but we drown our businesses because we do it that way.
Well, and we have to come up with a way too that you can do it and it's fulfilling, but then you have to have a pitch. Right. That's one thing Aaron has really taught me is you can go do the free classes, but have some type of a way that you're going to have a program to pitch. Right. You've got some type of an offer. Yeah. To where if you maybe there's you do a thing for a bunch of kids for free and you have an offer for a 10,000, if you need to make 10, if you're going to spend an entire day training and doing a bunch of stuff, maybe you need to make 10 grand. Maybe you need to have some type of an offer to where maybe there's a grandparent there that pays that or does that, or there's a way to collect data to then pitch an offer. Like you can't just go in, and I was always guilty of just showing up to it for, flyers. Whatever. Go to other martial arts schools. I don't care. Like I was really bad about doing that. We quote it in a group all the time. We've all done it for free. We'd all do it for free. It's the stupidest thing we say. Right. But you have to have something attached to it to where there is, yes, I did this. Yes. If you have a student come in, you do a free private lesson. you then offer to sell them a package of private lessons as they leave. So did you do a free one? Yes, but you made $300, doing a package,
Right.
whatever. You have to have something tied to it because that's what makes the world go round. You can't pay your bills. Be like, hey man,
Yep.
landlord, I did a whole lot of great crap this month for free. Oh, that's beautiful. They don't care.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's where it comes in. It really and truthfully, and that knowing that balance and understanding it. And I think it takes some of us, because we're so hard-headed, that we've got to get to the bottom and then be like, oh, I should have done this.
Yeah.
I got to a point where I was like, all right, I'm going to be doing 20 different things the rest of my life, or just going to work for someone else, or I'm going to dial in on my procedures and processes at the school and stop being afraid to ask for the money and have a really good income, have a good income and have a good life. And once you make that change, you're like, oh, this really isn't that hard. It was just me getting in my own way. Yeah. Oh. Even now I'll still start to make an excuse and I'll just stop.
I think it's funny. Like, so the coaching stuff I'm doing now, the trainer or the CEO trainers, whatever, I'll be like, so what is your sales process? Like, how does this work? Like when you get a lead, like I'm assuming you're having someone do your ads for you, because most of us do, because we don't have time, we don't have the knowledge to do that. So what are you doing when you get a lead? And most of them are just like, oh, I try to make I try to call them or text them or whatever. It's like, so how often are you texting them? So, I text them, once it comes in and I get it, I'll text them and give them a call. And I was like, how many times are you following up? Well, I mean, if they don't respond, then they don't respond.
That's not how it works.
I was like,
I was guilty of this too. Yeah.
So was I, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know how much you're leaving on the table? I mean, how often do you look at your cell phone? How many text messages a day do you get? How many emails a day do you get? How many phone calls do you not answer? Now, times that by 30 leads in a month, let's say, just round number. And you think that those people are going to instantly respond because it's you, because they put a lead in? That's not how it works. And they're like, well, how many? I was like, you message them every day until they either D&D you.
Yep.
Or they tell you not to call back.
I've been doing that with my call list. I've literally been setting it up and doing that because that was something I was guilty. I had 3,000 names in there and a software where I could set it up to drip email and text.
Yeah.
And I still wasn't doing it. And Aaron's like, what's it hurt you if they send back stop? He goes, exhaust the list. Respond to them until every single person on there says they've either signed up or they stop it. That's what all.
Well, they gave you permission to do it,
and they told you, and like he said, it's a pain point. So it's probably the same thing with you. They sign up, but then they go home and the dog's acting okay or whatnot, and then something happens, and they're like, "I need to call."
Yeah.
I need to do this. I need to do that. There's a pain point. Same thing in martial arts. They see us, they know where I'm at, that they're like, that's for other people, until their kid comes home from school and says, I got bullied. And then it's like, we need to call Matt. Well, maybe they go, we need to call that one guy, and they forget who we are because I didn't send a text.
Right.
If they're not deleting it, they're checking it. I mean, I get 20 text messages a day from Andy Elliott. I plan to work with the guy, just not right now.
Right.
I'm not blocking him. I just read them and move on. And honestly, I've been studying them because of the language. I'm like, ooh, that was an interesting way to get me to read it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to leave you alone after this. I was like, that's a great way to get me to open it. I'm still not going to open it because I know what you mean. But,
Right.
But I'm doing it as a study thing. Most people aren't. But you're right. People, what's your sales product? They don't have one.
There's another guy, Josh Lemire. He's got a FRAP system.
Yeah.
Super small business focused. He sent me 2 cents through PayPal. And he said, you didn't ask for it, but here's my 2 cents. And it was his whole freaking sales pitch. And I was like, oh my God, that is genius.
That's awesome.
I was like, I need to go through my email list, and I mean, 8,000 contacts is what, like $80 for 2 cents a piece. And then I can do a sales pitch email and oh my God. I was like, that is genius.
That is great. Wow. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aaron does a lot of stuff where he'll have us send different things. The other day I did it for fun. It was a fucking headache, but it worked. I sent out a reminder email about our Saturday class, our class schedule. Saturday's class was around the 4th of July because we were having some weird hours. And ChatGPT, when I had it generate the email, because I type everything in, I don't direct it to do stuff. I'll type it in and then I'll direct it. Hey, this is an email going to the students. Please make it fun and colorful.
Yeah.
Because it knows how I want it to end. It knows it's got a few things. and it actually named my classes. The ages were right, but the names were different, just slightly. And I was like, I'm gonna send it, see if anyone notices it, because instead of Little Champs, it was like Karate Tigers or something. It was just
enough off,
just a little bit. It was just something, somebody out there must be selling a program that's got a lot of that in there or something. And he had told us to go send stuff like that, or send out a wrong time,
see who's paying attention,
see who reads it. And it was interesting because the parents that read it were the ones I expected to read it. They were the ones that are always on time. They're the ones that are always at the events. And I was like, nope, sorry, chat. Just, it was a headache because I'm the one that has to respond to it, because all goes my cell phone. Right. It would be much more fun to do once there is a virtual, a manager that responds to that crap, because then they can spend their afternoon doing it.
Right.
But it was interesting to see. But same thing, we sent out a bunch of stuff, and it was to, either get people to come in and be, it's something I'm working on learning a little bit better, because I know myself. And it's not just like a greed thing of, I'm leaving this money on the table, but how much noise. Okay, so right now, we've been in here for 50 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
that's my phone. Like, just going. This is from yesterday.
113 notifications.
Yes.
14,
yes. So how many notifications do we have? So what are we doing? Are we send a text message out and we think, they didn't read it.
Right.
They didn't see it.
Right.
They got man, what was it the other day? And I meant to document what time of day it was. I got boom, 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 boom. Different coaches, different programs. Like Aaron and I joke, we're trying to get on all the lists, just to see what our people are doing. But I got a bunch of them all at a specific time, and I just happened to have my phone set up, so I noticed it went boom, 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 and I was like, okay, there's something special about that. But I think I was on a coaching call or something, and I didn't want to stop what I was doing and document it. And I meant to pay attention to it more, because it was like, ooh, there's something special about that time. Everybody's sending stuff out at that time. So what do I want to do? Well, I want to send something out before or after that next time. Because like learning those times. Otherwise we'll get lost. Yeah, because it does. It's like I said last night, Kristen messaged me and I was like, shit, where did she message me? Shoot, I had a whole bunch of them. I got a supplier right now. He takes, he'll send me stuff. I'll send him stuff for an order. He'll get me everything together real quick. And then once I pay him, then it takes forever to get stuff. Yeah. But I noticed if I wait a little bit, I feel like I get my stuff faster. So he's probably messaged me 20 times in the last 2 days. And I'm going to wait till, I'll probably pay him today. I got the money. I've just been dragging it on because all of a sudden he'll start sending me photos of my stuff made. Right. Then I pay him. Then I get stuff faster. But I've noticed when I pay early, it takes forever.
Because he's got the money.
But I get a ton of messages.
Yeah.
So, did I miss something in there? It happens all the time. We're fighting through that noise. And if you're not going to actively do that, it's part of the job.
Right. So, and that's either delegate it or hire someone to do it.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, when you take on a new client, what's your sales process look like? Most of them can't.
No.
One of the cool things Aaron was laying out for Rise is he has it documented, and I'm doing this too. I've got to get a graphic designer to go through it, but we have our operations manual just about done, but I want pictures, and he has like a whole funnel drawn out. They meet at an event, they do a trial. At this point in the trial, they move up to here, at this point here, and then they have the corresponding like how the text messaging and educational part follows it. Because
like a flow chart type thing.
Well, I would like to have it set up to where like when someone comes on for the first 90 days, they're in a different text message funnel that just educates them about our program, teaches them about martial arts, what we do, where our tournaments are. And I've noticed since doing, like I do some of that on my own, but it could be done a lot better with modern tech. Those people are more engaged in the school because they understand it makes sense. So it's just an educational thing. Like
are they using like Go High Level or?
Yeah, you're using stuff connected to Go High Level.
Yeah.
And I've got to access that too. I just have got to have someone come on and build out all the funnels.
Yeah.
Is where I'm at, because I don't want it as like a sales thing. I just want to educate them.
Right.
Just teach them about our program, and then when they go to the next thing, now we got another funnel that goes out and educates them, because I tried to look at it as if I signed up for something new and was sitting here and they're like, oh, we got a tournament. They're talking about, maybe I don't know what the hell that is. Right. I think we forget that too as experts in what we do. You forget that part.
Yeah. So the further your skills and what you do evolve, the further away you get from the new people.
Yes.
Right. And
yes.
like, you just forget what it feels like to be that new person.
Yes.
You know, it's like when I went to go to jujitsu,
oh, yeah,
you know, I mean, I've done martial arts my whole life in some form or another, whether it was, you know, Taekwondo as a kid, martial arts in the Marine Corps, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling in high school, like first day back in the gym, you know, or you know, training and whatever, you're like, okay, well, what are the routines? What are we doing? You know, some of the guys were bowing when they walked onto the mat. Some of the guys were just walking on. Like, what do we? Yeah, you know, and that kind of drives me crazy too. Going back to kind of what you said, now that your guys are, you know, one uniform. This is the expectation. Yep. You know, you're solidifying the unity of what the school is.
Yes.
You know, and I feel like, as much as, because I've been to a ton of different gyms as far as martial arts goes, so the ones that are that way they're more welcoming. You feel more at home.
You're comfortable.
You understand what you're doing because it's already been laid out for you. The ones where you go in and everybody's in different clothes. This guy's in, you know, rash guard. This guy's in shorts and a t-shirt. And okay, cool. What are we doing?
No, and I agree. And that's been our big thing. Like, we do these workshops where people can come in and try class. The biggest thing of that workshop is for me to educate them. This is a workshop. You sign up for the trial. At 30 days in or before, I will set up a one-on-one to talk to you. Like, you're establishing all of that stuff up front. Yeah. You're laying it all out. They wear one uniform. They do this. They do that. And because I had found when I started taking over office work and managing stuff a little more myself, that a lot of people, it wasn't, I thought they were not signing up because they didn't want to spend the money, but most of them hadn't signed up yet because they didn't understand. And I was like, oh, well,
it's the indoctrination that they do in the military. It's the same thing.
Yes, and
not to the extreme.
No, but it's the way the human brain works. They want to know the expectations. So by laying it all out, so like when I enter them in, they get a welcome email. Then they get a follow-up email that states exactly what it is, when they're to be at class, what they're to bring with them, all of that. And it tells them, here's the link. Follow my social media, join our group, make sure this does not go to your spam, and then make sure to text me at this number and set up your 30-day consult. We don't have to do it today, but it needs to be done. So we do the 30 days. Right. Almost every single person does it. Every once in a while you get one or two that are, but it's because they misspelled something in an email or they sent it to their husband's email. You know, it's something goofy. Yeah. But most of them do it and they're happy with it because it's expected. Mm-hmm. They know it. Like, we send out all these different sale offers at least one weekend a month. It's just so people understand we're going to do bundles. Yeah. It's to just set that standard of, oh, this is coming out again. It's not like, oh, it just came out of the blue. Matt must need money. You know, it's no, they do bundles every couple months. You know, this is kind of the routine they follow. Oh, cool. This is a really good one. I think me and the kids I think we're in a spot to do this time. Or they've just been with the program long enough. They're like, you know what? I'm ready to commit to this now. You have to do it. But trying to explain that to people that are new, sometimes they just don't get it. They feel like it's being poaching, like you're just trying to go after people for their money. Or that typical, like, car salesman mentality of they're just going to pounce.
So that's what happens in the dog world a lot.
Yeah,
you know,
so it happens in martial arts too.
Yeah, the trainer gets into a bind and they're like, oh, 50% off, and you know, and then they do a big huge push. They get some dogs in, and then it's like every quarter, every 2 to 3 months, they're doing this big sale. It's like, you must be hurting. And
that's what it is. Something happened. They're like, crap, I got to get people in here. They're not seeing it ahead of time. That's what's great with the Rise Coach calls is we're always talking about what's going to happen in 2 months. You know, hey, you're at the 15th of this month. Is everything done for next month? You know, or hey, we know July's coming up. If you got some plans in, July's always a slow month. Yeah. Do you got plans in? We talked about that 2 months before. This year, I never do anything cool around Valentine's Day because I always forget. I'm not a big holiday person. Well, month before, they're like, hey guys, don't forget to do this. You know, what's your plans this month? And I was like, oh, first time in 16 years I remember to do something for Valentine's Day at school because I never think about it till the day. Right. And I'm like, well, can't do nothing now. And the kids loved it. We did candy and little cards they could take to school. They loved it. Saved the parents money. Didn't cost me that much. Pain in the butt to tape them all on, but it was what it was.
I'm so guilty of the holiday thing. Because I just go through my day, and then all of a sudden you pull up your calendar, you're like, oh, it's the 4th. Yeah. Or, hey, it's oh, I forgot to get a card. You know?
I'm bad about it, too. Like I said, with the school even, people will be like, well, why are we having classes this Saturday? I'm like,
because it's a weekend.
What's this Saturday?
Right.
They're like, Christmas. I'm like, oh,
right.
You know, shit, missed that one, you know,
Yeah.
or I'm really bad about that.
I tried to get ahead of it this year. Like I literally, January, I printed off every holiday. I made a list and everything that we had going on. And I was like, okay, because our big thing is over the holidays, like we go down to a skeleton crew.
Yeah.
You know, just enough to take care of the dogs, potty breaks, feed everybody, so that everybody, and we do a rotation so that everybody at least comes in for a couple hours to get something done. And because we tried it where, you know, we'd have shifts where, you know, that was your shift for the weekend. You just got bad luck of the draw. Sorry, it happens, right? Well, it's always everybody waits to the last minute. Hey, you know, like Memorial Day weekend's next, like tomorrow. Oh, well, no, I didn't, because you're the manager. You're supposed to be paying attention to those things. Now you're coming to me, and now I have to figure it out. Like you were saying before, it was going through you and then to your manager, and that's kind of how it is with us. It has been. It's like, no, just because you didn't do your due diligence and you guys didn't look ahead,
now
guess what? The holiday doesn't happen for us. We're working, you know, and I've done that twice now.
Yeah.
You know, even though in January I printed all this whole thing and hey, we need a holiday schedule for these events. Like figure it out now so that there's no questions when it comes up. And it's still.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing that saved us last year is Aaron had me do the entire year.
Yeah.
Every event, every day off, every day closed. We closed right after our belt graduation. We closed for a week and just do instructor training. And not a single person complained, but I also posted every second of it on social media so they could see.
Right.
And I explained that to new people. I'm like, if you do close for something and you're going to have training or you're going to have this or that, you need to show proof of it. So people are like, oh, that's really cool. They did this. So they see the value in it. Not only did they get their week off to rest with their kid, because right before graduation, everybody trains a whole bunch.
Yeah.
You know, so they're ready for that time off. But you also showed that you did a bunch with your team, not just
took off and partied or
you guys just hung out and had a week off, or you took the money from graduation, went on a vacation, which is nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But you don't want
just
to project
be transparent.
that. Be transparent about it, or you know, build those in. You know, you're going to take a vacation this 2 week of the year, so you have payroll set up that way or billing set up that way. People don't care. Just be transparent, be straight. So if someone wants to find you guys, book you guys something with their dog, how do they go about that?
So Facebook, Instagram, Modern Canine Solutions, K and 9, not spelt out.
Yeah.
Website, moderncaninsolutionsTL.com. And then, you know, if you just Google us, we'll pop up.
And then your coaching?
Dog Trainer CEO. There's no website yet. I'm just running it off of Facebook at the moment. And Facebook and Instagram, Dog Trainer CEO, just one word. And there's a bunch of videos and stuff on there currently. I'm still adding in, obviously. So
and I've been watching all your stuff. It's really good. So that's awesome. Excited for the new path and where it's going to take you. It's wild how fast it changes.
It's fun. So, you know, we'll see what happens.
That's awesome. Appreciate you coming on.
Cool, dude. Appreciate you, man.
That's great.